Once upon a time, in a small city nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, lived a boy named Leo. Now, Leo wasn't your typical boy. You wouldn't find him kicking a soccer ball around or racing remote control cars. No, Leo's passion was painting. He'd spend hours and hours painting pictures of fantastical creatures, beautiful landscapes, and even portraits of his friends. But as much as he loved painting and as much as he practiced, Leo could never become a good painter. His paintings always looked strange. One day, his grandpa, Arthur, a man with a twinkle in his eye and a beard that seemed to hold 1,000 stories, gave him an old wooden box. "Open this," he said, his voice low and mysterious. "Only when you feel you have nothing more to learn." Leo, puzzled but intrigued, followed his grandpa's instructions. Years passed and Leo continued to paint, trying to improve, trying to understand the secret of his grandpa's box. Finally, when he turned 12, feeling he'd learned all he could, he opened the box. Inside, nestled on a bed of faded velvet, was a shiny, golden brush. It shimmered in the light, seeming to hold a magic all its own. Leo, curious and a bit scared, picked up the brush. "Let's give this a try," he thought. He painted a small bird on a blank canvas, and as he added the final stroke, the bird on the canvas ruffled its feathers and flew out the window. Startled, but excited, Leo realized he wasn't holding an ordinary brush. It was a magic painting brush. Anything he painted would come to life. At first, this magic was just a source of fun. He painted a box of chocolates, and the box filled up with real chocolates. He painted his favorite superhero, and the superhero came to life right in front of him, complete with a cape billowing in the wind and muscles that seemed to bulge. But as time went on, Leo began to understand the magic wasn't just fun. It was a great responsibility. He painted a mountain as part of a landscape, but it grew so large and so real that it started to break the roof of his house. He painted a small elephant to add to the zoo, but it became so big it couldn't fit inside his house. Disappointed in himself, Leo decided to hide the brush, hoping he'd be able to find a way to control this magic. But one night, the city's power went out and everything became dark. Everyone was worried and a bit scared. That's when Leo had an idea. "I can use the brush to help," he thought. Quickly, he made a large painting near his window. It was a painting of fireflies in the night sky, their tiny bodies glowing in the darkness. As soon as he finished the painting, as if guided by an invisible hand, the fireflies came to life and flew up to light up the night sky over the city. People looked up in wonder and amazement. They saw how a little boy had used his wits and a magical brush to bring light into their lives. The next morning, the city's mayor presented Leo with an award, a certificate declaring him the best painter of the city. It wasn't the kind of award Leo had expected, but it made him smile. From that day on, Leo kept the brush, not because it was magic or because it was fun, but because it was a reminder. He learned that true magic isn't just about making things come to life. It's about using your power for the right purpose, no matter how small you are. So Leo continued to paint, creating not just fantastic creatures or beautiful landscapes, but things that brought joy and happiness to everyone in the city. Gardens full of brightly colored flowers that never wilted, trees that offered cool shade in the summer, and even smiley faces that seemed to brighten everyone's day. And as he painted, he knew that the real magic wasn't in the brush, but in him.